everyone. Welcome to the It Hurts to Mom podcast. I'm Lauren Rose, and today we're talking about the body code system of healing. The body code is a patented revolutionary energy balancing system intended to help you uncover root causes of discomfort, sickness, and suffering in body and spirit, so you can have the opportunity to make corrections right on the spot. Our guest is Dr. Anthony Krohn, chiropractic physician and holistic healer. He helps others heal on a deeper level by accessing emotions, movement, energy, toxins, and other lifestyle factors. Thank you for coming on, Doctor.
Hey, Lauren, thanks for having me.
Sure. So what is the body code healing system? I just was recently introduced to it by you. So can you explain it to us?
Yeah, so body code is a form of, we'll call it energetic healing, that allows the practitioner and client to connect on a deeper level to find those root cause issues that are just preventing you from healing fully. So it's a way to kind of talk to the subconscious mind where everything is stored, and allows the body to kind of give away information that we may not know at the top of our mind, and give us direction where that healing needs to go. So the body code is a really great way to, and a really comprehensive way to just ask the body specific questions of what could be the underlying issue.
So can you discuss the 6 elements that are involved?
Yeah, so there's 6 different, I like to call them buckets that we test for. So the first one is this energy component. So we're energetic beings, we're made of energy. Down at the microscopic level, if you look at our bodies, we're just little balls of energy that are vibrating. So in this energetic bucket, the big thing that comes up for a lot of people is trapped emotions, and how these negative frequencies that these negative emotions hold in the body. So if we have trapped emotions, you can think of it like a little ball of energy that's trapped anywhere in the body. They say that emotions are stored in the fascia. Fascia is just this network of lining that kind of lubricates the skin, the joints, the muscles, this energetic electric environment that is where the emotions are stored. So if we have any sort of trapped emotion or time in our life where we suppress those emotions, our body hangs on to that emotion and can create that disharmony, that dis-ease in the body, which can be some of the underlying issues why people aren't healing. There's also other things like post-traumatic energy. So if you had some sort of like physical injury or a car accident, we just store those, that negative energy in the body. Things like allergies, offensive curses, spirits, kind of negative self-talk that you put on yourself. All of this just disrupts our, we'll call it homeostasis in the body, or that good balance in the body that can be one of the issues. So that's kind of the energy bucket, that first one that we can test for. The next one is circuit or system. So this is where we get into the body systems and if they're disconnected. So I like to kind of think of it as a power strip. So is there a certain body system that's not plugged into the power strip, or is everything plugged into the power strip and it's turned off? So the brain just isn't connected to that part of the body, which, as you can imagine, can cause energetic shifts in the body and not allowing to function at its 100%. Also, the energy body, so like your chakra, your meridians in traditional Chinese medicine, your aura, the energy you're putting off to others. That's another system. The third one is, and these are in no particular order, not from most important to least important. I'm just kind of going down my chart here. The next one is toxins. So what you're exposed to daily definitely has an effect on the body. So your dental toxins, which I feel like is being more talked about now. A lot of your crowns and your fillings, if you have those metals in your mouth, how they can off gas and cause issues, whether it's heart issues, stomach, intestine. It's actually really cool if you go into a holistic dentist office. Some of them, not all of them, will have this chart of the teeth and the corresponding organs And then also there's emotions that kind of correspond to each one. So it's actually pretty cool how our teeth can have an effect on the rest of the body. So if we have toxic stuff in the mouth, how that can have an effect on the body. You get into like your food toxins. So if you're highly susceptible or having a reaction to like food dyes and additives, fillers, all the stuff that we don't need in food, but that has become more prevalent now. That is causing a lot of the issues that we face today. That can be an issue. Different drug toxins, so your pharmaceuticals or your recreational drugs can cause toxins in the body. A big one right now with the 5G is electromagnetic radiation. So the 5G towers, Bluetooth, things that are affecting our DNA in the body. So that's actually shifting our energy as well. And then another big one, I mean, all of these I say are big ones because everything is super important, but the environmental toxins too. So like your glyphosate, herbicides, pesticides that they spray with foods, your scents that you have in the house is a big thing. So a lot of those lab-made chemicals that can cause disruption to your body. The next bucket is pathogens. So this is your parasites, your mold, your fungus, your biofilm, issues that either cause an energetic imbalance or the physical organism is present and it can be feeding on the host site. Then you can get into misalignments. So as a chiropractor, this is where I shine. So adjusting segments that are restricted, working on a soft tissue. And then this also kind of coincides with the circuit and system bucket with the chakras and the meridians. So how well does the energy flow and work in conjunction together in the body? And then the last bucket is just this nutrition or lifestyle piece. What outside support, what food or nutrient could really be a benefit to your healing process? Or do you just need some more water? Do you need water with electrolytes in it? Do you need essential oils to help stimulate the limbic system to process emotions better? Do you need to be wearing a certain color so that the body, if it's exposed too much of one color, it recognizes that color and it can kind of have this, we'll say, negative reaction to the color. You're just always used to it, and we're not expanding our mind and our eyesight and our processing to those other colors. So those are the 6 buckets that we test for. Again, like I said, pretty darn comprehensive, but it's a good way to just ask the body what exactly is going on and what do we need to find.
Yeah, so a few days ago, you did kind of a mini session on me. And I got to tell you, I mean, I think it was spot on. I mean, you came up with at age 15, I was dealing with repressed emotion of lack of control. And I happened to be going through an eating disorder at age 15, which is all about control and lack thereof. So that was crazy. What makes the body code work?
So ultimately it comes down to intention. So you and the client just connecting on a energetic level, getting to know each other, and the intention that 1, this is going to work, and 2, that you're open for it to work. Usually people flock to body code or this, we'll call it new type of healing, even though it's been around for centuries, because they've tried everything and they're willing to do whatever it takes to feel better. So that openness and that intention to release whatever is causing the issue, because then we're just shifting the energy in the body to allow the brain to reconnect with what the issue is and say, hey, remember when you were younger before this all happened and you were functioning without an issue? We're taking you back to that time and just kind of rewiring how that works before that trauma or that insult happened, to where the body found a new way to operate that's not necessarily correct.
So we did our session virtually. When a client is virtual,
Yeah. So I don't know if your listeners have heard of quantum physics or quantum entanglement, quantum energy. So pretty much that just says, and takes from what I said at the beginning, how we're all energetic beings. We connect when we have conversation. So we're able to ask the mind specific questions to open up the subconscious mind of what's been hiding, what the issue is. So we use muscle testing to, again, tap into that subconscious mind. So it's kind of like a lie detector test, except for the practitioner's not doing an invasion of privacy. There's no unethical boundaries being stepped with this. So we're just using that energetic frequency to connect, to be able to allow me to muscle test for you, even though we're sitting across from screens. So in the emotion code book, they actually talk about an experiment that was done with white blood cells. One was in one room, and then I'm gonna murder this study, but you'll get the point once I finish it. They added an insult or added some sort of stimulus to one of the white blood cells, and it could be red blood cell, one of the cells, and the cell, its partner cell that was in a completely different space, started to take on the characteristics of that cell that was stimulated. So our ability to connect on a deeper level with people, say when you get a call from, we'll say, a sibling from across the country, and they just had a baby. So this immense joy, this life being brought into the world. Well, that person across the country, they're not in that room to feel and to see that baby, but they're still taking on that joy and that excitement for them, because we're just matching energies. Or if there's a death in the family, or a friend or a loved one died from overseas, you're still taking on that type of energetic shift that someone else has from across the country. It's super hard to explain. I've watched several videos on quantum energy, and I feel like we're kind of at the tip of the iceberg in a sense, to where there's still so much more underneath that we're figuring out with it. But overall, like I said in the last point, it's just intention to allow the body to understand and recognize that there's this opportunity to heal on a different level, and to allow the practitioner and the client to connect, to then evaluate what needs to be treated.
Yeah, I was wondering if this system was based in science, but quantum physics is certainly science,
yes.
Right?
Yep, absolutely. So yeah, everything comes down to science. So I'm a Christian, so I believe that God created everything. God created science. God created human. Some people, it just is what you believe. So we can't negate that science component at all. Otherwise, nothing would be valid at that point, if that kind of makes sense. But yeah, exactly. Quantum physics is science. The study of energy is science. The human body and healing is science. So while there's not like any specific research done on the body code, we're using scientific principles to bring healing.
That's good, because I don't want to promote something that's completely, because I'm a Christian too, so nothing too woo-woo and, from the other side, you know what I mean? So what kind of physical and mental problems can trapped emotions cause? Because I know you talked about how that's a big one, and I know I've got a lot of trapped emotions just from suppressing them for most of my life. So what kind of issues can they cause?
Yeah, I mean, you see it in a textbook. It can be caused by that trap emotion. So big ones are kind of mental and emotional struggles. So your depression, anxiety, attention issues can be caused from those trapped emotions. Chronic pain, so things like fibromyalgia, which is a conversation for a different day, chronic fatigue syndrome, autoimmune disease, even things like stubborn weight loss. So people having issues losing weight, some of these trapped emotions, it's just our body did not heal from that instance that caused that trapped emotion. So when we're faced with that same instant or something that carries a similar weight, if we didn't process and release that emotion from that time, we're going to revert back to our old ways, and we're going to continue that pattern. So really, I mean, as easy as it like sounds to say it this way, like pretty much anything can have like a trapped emotion, a negative trapped emotion component to it.
So how do we get trapped emotions out of our body?
Yeah. So this one again comes down to intention of the release. So I don't know if you've heard of magnetic healing or your listeners have heard of magnetic healing. So we use some sort of energy to release and pull that memory or that issue from the mind, from the body, through what's called the governing meridian. So in Chinese medicine, you have your acupuncture, and it works off of different meridians in the body. So the governing meridian is specifically for, or I guess where a lot of the energy kind of converges together. So it's an extraordinary meridian that runs from between the eyebrows all the way down to the tailbone. So we pull that thought or that intention or that emotion or that toxin through that governing meridian to allow any stagnation or any blockages from that issue to be released through that governing meridian.
Wow, that's interesting. And I've got acupuncture, so I've had acupuncture several times, like a lot. So I kind of get the meridian thing. What kinds of things can people feel while doing the body code?
So if we release a trapped emotion, some people will feel like the weight lifted off their shoulders. I actually just did a session where the very first trapped emotion that we released, she actually had a tear just drop from her eye. So it can be something profound as like this big like gasp of air, like, wow, okay, I just released this thing that's been hovering over my head for so long. Or you may not notice anything at all. Everyone responds differently, and that goes for any type of medicine. It may take a couple days too. So whether it's that immediate response and sigh of relief, or it's a couple days and you're having a conversation with a friend and something gets brought up and how you would have reacted in the past, maybe you don't respond the same way that you did. And then after that conversation a little bit later, you're like, normally I would have responded with like anxiety or like really like tight chested or that feeling in the pit of your stomach. And I didn't have that response that I just did. So maybe that was those trapped emotions that was in the body that caused me to feel some type of way earlier.
How long does it usually take for the body code to start showing, manifesting as improvements in the body or in the mind?
Yeah, so it can be anywhere from that session. You may feel like, I think it was you when you were working on, you felt the right side of the body and it may be someone else that I'm thinking of. As we were working, they felt kind of a release in the right side of the body as we were releasing some emotions that kind of coincided with the gallbladder and liver. Or it may take a couple days. There's also, and I want to kind of reiterate this point, this isn't like a end all be all. This isn't going to fix your long-standing autoimmune disease that you have. So it may not fully correct what you've come with, but it does give the body a leg up in that healing process, because we're just allowing the balance of those cells to kind of vibrate in better frequency and better tune with each other. So you may notice right then and there, you may notice in a couple days, or you may not notice for a while. And then a couple years down the line, after you've been working really hard for this autoimmune thing, like it's just another way to help the system along.
Okay, gotcha. So it sounds like it could work for people with chronic pain, because you said that, trapped emotions can cause chronic pain, which I think are possibly one of the problems that I have.
Yeah. Like I said, this can be used for a lot of different things. Most commonly, I see people with like some gut issues and that mental health struggle. It also works really well for sleep issues, especially with kiddos who are having sleep issues, who are having attention issues. A lot more of it is underlying issues that aren't addressed with the medication that they've been prescribed. So a lot of people know that ADHD has been linked to the food dyes that kiddos consume. There's also deeper things like parasites, fungus, methylation issues. And again, that's a whole nother topic for a different day. But there's more than just the easy answer of, oh, it's the food you're eating. So we can actually use the body code to figure out what that issue is, why you're having said chronic fatigue or chronic pain. I've even seen people who are having like mental blocks in their business, or having feelings of financial scarcity. So it's anything that causes that body to create that blockage or that kind of lockdown response, and not to freely accept what can come to you and believe what can come to you. In a way, it's, I mean, hot topic right now is like manifesting it. While I think there's weight to some of the manifestation, we got to be careful that we don't write off the process that comes with the manifestation. So a lot of people, I manifest this, I manifest that, and they think it's just going to come easy. That's not the case. You got to put in the effort and the work for it too.
Yeah, I agree. So I was doing some research, and the Body Code book is due to be released on February 21st of 23. I looked through a preview on Amazon. I saw a quote from Albert Einstein that said, "Future medicine will be the medicine of frequencies." Why do you think he said that? And do you agree with that?
Yeah, so I'm really excited for the Body Code book to be released. Dr. Brad Nelson, who developed this system, he actually has the Emotion Code book out. So that's a really good and easy read. And he actually goes into it to teach you how to muscle test. He goes through that process, and also how to release motions on your own. So if you have any interest of like learning how to do that, that's a good place to start. I imagine the Body Code book is going to be similar. In that he will walk through those different systems that I talked about, and how to, again, muscle test and kind of what the underlying issue is. But that quote I love. I'm going to read it again. Future medicine will be the medicine of frequencies. So I think that frequency medicine has been around for centuries. I mean, Albert Einstein, he lived a long time ago. And so for him to say that, like, he knew that there was weight of it then. And I think the more that people start to get frustrated with Western medicine and conventional medicine and how what they thought and what they were taught is not working like it should, I think people are going to be more drawn to this type of frequency medicine, this type of healing, even though it's been around for centuries. So we're just scratching the surface now of what it can do. And I mean, I would say less than 3 to 5%, and that's just a guess, of the population knows about this type of healing. And I'm probably even over there because it's just not talked about. People, they don't know about it, and they don't want to either learn about it or accept that it's a possibility because they were told that this is woo-woo, this is this is just some type of witchcraft type healing. And while some people use it as that, I think the Christian component that I bring, and you being a Christian, if we center it with God, and have his intention and his direction and his calling during this, again, I think that's a really good and honest way to utilize the system.
No, I think that's so interesting. And I know, I imagine a lot of my listeners are as frustrated with Western medicine as I have become.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've gotten into, some more traditional medicine, like the acupuncture and, holistic stuff and functional medicine and different things like that. So this has been really interesting. It's such a new topic that I'd never heard of. So where can we find more information about you and about what you do?
Yeah, so I'm just on Instagram right now. I'm actually in Nashville, Tennessee, and I'm starting my own practice. I'm in the process of that. So just right now, I'm only found on Instagram, and that's Dr. Anthony Krohn. So just all lowercase Dr. Anthony, Anthony, and then Krohn, Krohn. I'm sure you'll add that link in the show notes there. So I'm just putting out information daily. I have fun with my Instagram account. It's not like some educational, well, it can be used for education purposes. A lot of it is just like what I'm doing in my life, because I think that's where people, they want to see the authenticity of you. And that's where they connect with you. They want to know that you're a real human and that you enjoy your life and you go through struggles and you're not just some white coat person who sits behind a desk and has all the information they know. I'm still learning every day about it, and I'm walking through that process on my Instagram.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, thank you for having me. This has been great.
Make sure to subscribe to this podcast so you don't miss any health, parenting, or life advice. For my freebie, 30 Ways to Relieve Pain Without Taking a Pill, go to ithurtstomom.com or at ithurtstomom on Instagram. If you have comments, suggestions, or you want to be on this podcast, please email me at ithurtstomom@gmail.com. I wish everybody a blessed and pain-free day. Bye.